Good morning, everyone. This is His Word Only. All right, let's get right into God's Word. So we left off with Genesis 40, and this is where the chief butler and the chief baker were put into prison. I had no idea why, but basically offending is what it says, the Pharaoh. But anyways, they were put in the same jail cell around Joseph, and they both had a dream, basically, and Joseph interpreted those dreams, and the butler was supposed to, let Pharaoh know of Joseph and what he could do and stuff. Or not what he could do, but to get him out of jail cell. Sorry. And ended up that he didn't. The chief baker hanged like in his dream, like he was supposed to, and the chief butler was supposed to help Joseph, but he forgot. Now we're on Genesis 41. And it came to pass, at the end of 2 full years, the Pharaoh dreamed, and behold, he stood by the river. And behold, there came up the river 7 well-favored kine and flat-fleshed, and they fed in a meadow. And behold, 7 other kine came up after them out of the river, ill-favored and lean-fleshed, and stood by the other kine upon the brink of the river. And the ill-favored and lean-fleshed kine did eat up the 7 well-favored and fat kine. So Pharaoh awoke, and he slept and dreamed the second time. And behold, 7 ears of corn came up upon one stalk, rank and good. And behold, 7 thin ears blasted with east wind sprung up after them. And the 7 thin ears devoured the 7 rank and full ears. And Pharaoh awoke, and behold, it was a dream. And it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled, and he sent and called for all the magicians of Egypt, and all the wise men thereof. And Pharaoh told them his dream, but there was none that could interpret them unto Pharaoh. Then spake the chief butler unto Pharaoh, saying, I do remember my faults this day. Pharaoh was wroth with his servants, and put me in ward in the captain of the guard's house, both me and the chief baker. And we dreamed a dream in one night, I and he. We dreamed each man according to the interpretation of his dream. And there was there with us a young man, a Hebrew, servant to the captain of the guard. And we told him, and he interpreted to us our dreams. To each man according to his dream he did interpret. And it came to pass, as he interpreted to us, so it was. Me he restored unto mine office, and to him he hanged. The Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon. And he shaved himself, and changed his raiment, and came into Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I have dreamed a dream, and there is none that can interpret it. And I have heard say thee, that thou canst understand a dream to interpret it. And Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, It is not in me. God shall give Pharaoh an answer of peace. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, In my dream, behold, I stood up on the bank of the river. And behold, there came up a river 7 kine, flat-fleshed, and well-favored, and they fed in a meadow. And behold, 7 other kine came up after them, poor, and very ill-favored and lean-fleshed, such as I never saw in the land of Egypt for badness. And the lean and the ill-favored kine did eat up the first 7 fat kine. And when they eaten them up, it could not be known that they had eaten them. but they were still ill-favored as the beginning. So I awoke, and I saw a dream, and behold, 7 ears came up in one stalk, full and good. And behold, 7 ears withered then, and blasted with the east wind sprung up after them. And thine ears devoured the 7 good ears. And I told this unto the magicians, but there was none that could declare it to me. And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, The dream of Pharaoh is one. God hath showed Pharaoh that he is about to do. The 7 good kine are 7 years, and the 7 good ears are 7 years. The dream is one. And the 7 thin and ill-favored kine that came up after them are 7 years, and the 7 empty ears blasted with the east wind shall be 7 years of famine. This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What good is about to do he showeth unto Pharaoh. Behold, there come 7 years of great years of famine, and plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of the famine following, for it shall be very grievous. And for that dream was doubled unto Pharaoh twice. It is because the thing is established by thy God, and God will shortly bring it to pass. Now therefore let Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise, set him over the land of Egypt. Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint officers over the land, and take up the 5th part of the land of Egypt in the 7 plenteous years. And let them gather all the food of those good years that come, and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh, and let them keep food in the cities. And that food shall be for store to the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land perish not through famine. And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh, in the eyes of all his servants. And Pharaoh said unto his servants, Can we find such one as this, as a man whom the Spirit of God is? And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, For as much as as God hath showed thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art. Thou shalt be over my house, and according unto thy word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than thou. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, See, I have set thee over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand, and put it upon Joseph's hand, and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen, and put a gold chain about his neck. And he made him to ride in the 2nd chariot which he had. And they cried before him, Bow the knee. And he made him ruler over the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without thee shall no man lift up his hand or foot in all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zaphnath-Paneah, and he gave to him a wife, Asnath, the daughter of Potipherah, priest of On. And Joseph went out over the land of Egypt. And Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh, and went throughout all the land of Egypt. And in 7 plenteous years they are brought forth by handfuls. And he gathered up all the food of the 7 years which were in the land of Egypt, and laid upon the food in the cities, and the food of the field, which were round about every city, laid up in the same. And Joseph gathered corn as the sand of the sea, very much until he left number, for it was without number. And unto Joseph were born 2 sons before the years of famine came, which Asenath, the daughter of Potipherah, priest of On, bare unto him. And Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manasseh, for God said, He hath made him forget all my toil and all my father's house. And the name of the second called he Ephraim, for God hath caused me to be fruitful in the land of my affliction. And the 7 years of plenteousness that he was in the land of Egypt were ended. And the 7 years of the death began to come. According to Joseph, he said, and death was in the lands, but in all land Egypt there was bread. And when the land of Egypt was famished, the people cried to Pharaoh for bread. And Pharaoh said unto all the Egyptians, Go unto Joseph, what saith to you do? And the famine was over all the face of the earth. And Joseph opened all the storehouses. And he said unto the Egyptians, and famine waxed sore in the land of Egypt. And all countries come into Egypt to Joseph for to buy corn, because that famine was so sore in all the lands. And that is the end of Genesis 41. Sorry, I forgot for a second there. Anyways, as a summary here, I think I forgot to do a... No, I didn't. Never mind. Anyways, sorry guys. So that baker came through, or should I say the butler came through, and he hold on a second. Gotta remember. I think it was the Pharaoh was wroth with his servants, put me there was a young man, Hebrew servant, let's see, both me and the chief baker. Yeah, it was the butler. Okay, I'm sorry guys. And the butler finally came through. And then Joseph interpreted his dream and basically told him about the famine, right? The 7 years to store up and 7 years of famine that was going to come. And they listened. And look what happened. Now, he's ruling Egypt, right? Like, imagine what God could do for you, But, anyways, I apologize for this one, guys. This is the first day back. I'm going to be doing back-to-back Bible readings here because, I have some stuff to do during the week. And today was kind of busy, so I apologize. I'm kind of out of it. But, anyways, hope you guys were edified. And you guys have a wonderful day.